What's going on, everybody? Joel here from the Token Minorities, and I am bringing you the Season 4 Week 10 battle of the NPL, this week in a rematch against Cheeseboy628's Phoenix Sunkern. We faced them in Week 3, we came out with a win that week, 2-0 victory, I believe, and that snapped a 4-game losing skid to Cheeseboy. So now we're going to be looking to get on a little bit of a winning streak against him, hopefully pulling out a nice win this week. Now, the significance of this match is this. Cheese and I are both the number 1 and the number 2 teams in the entire league in terms of both differential and record. So the funny part about that is that we're both in the same division. So only one of us can win our division, and therefore only one of us can have a first round bye in the playoffs. So essentially the winner of this game is very likely to have the number 1 overall seed in the entire league going into the playoffs, therefore also being the number 1 seed in the conference. So yeah, this is going to be a very intense battle for that reason alone. Plus, obviously he's going to be seeking some revenge after losing to me for the first time in a while in the Week 3 matchup. So it's going to be pretty fun. Let's go ahead and dive on into the team analysis a little bit. I will go ahead and say now that because Cheese is already a guaranteed playoff team, he already clinched at least the wild card, I believe, a while ago. I'm not going to go into an intense amount of detail in the team that I'm bringing, because I do want to maintain as much secrecy as possible just in case he does, just in case we do encounter each other in the playoffs. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to actually show my team builder this week. I'll give a brief overview at team preview when I show you the battle, but that's just kind of my plan strategy wise, just in case I do encounter Cheeseboy in the playoffs. So anyway, looking at his team, he has the same team as last time: Manaphy, Thundee-Eye, Latias, Bisharp, Gengar, Magnezone, Diggersby, Halucha, Diancie, Sunkern, and Mega Medicham. My team's almost the same as last time I faced him, except I do have the recent addition of Raikou in place of Heliolisk. Now, this is actually a little bit interesting because Heliolisk was actually the Pokemon that cleaned up the rest of Cheeseboy's team in the first matchup against him, and not having it this week makes me maybe slightly weaker to Manaphy, although Raikou is still an excellent Manaphy check. It really is even a counter, so it's not going to hurt me in my eyes to not have Heliolisk this week, as Raikou overall really does have a pretty good matchup. But really overall, just based upon my overall matchup in that 11 versus 11, I have a lot of options against his team. I know I probably said this in my first video against him, but everything on my team has a niche against his team, and that's what makes building for Cheeseboy really fun, because I have so many different angles I can take against him, and really I can't go wrong as long as I don't play too defensively, because playing defensively against a team like Cheese's is really suicide, because he has so many powerful wall breakers, such as Manaphy after a Tail Glow, Thunderous Eye after a Nasty Plot, even Calm Mind Latias, Swords Dance Bisharp, Gengar is just a natural balance breaker, Diggersby is just the definition of a wall breaker, and then of course Mega Medicham. So yeah, running a defensive team is a poor decision against Cheeseboy, but that's about as much as I want to say at this point. I'll go ahead and jump on over to the battle and show you what I decided to bring this week. Alright, so as you can see at team preview, I did end up bringing a pretty similar team to what I brought against him in week 3, with the exception of Raikou in the Heliolisk slot and Jirachi in the Mega Latios slot. Overall, I don't really want to discuss the movesets too much. It's revealed in the battle that Lucario is a Swords Dance variant, so that's looking like a pretty good win condition this game based upon what he brought. And I should note that he did bring the Sunkern, which is surprising to say the least, considering the impact of this battle on the seedings in the playoffs. So I'm not sure if he thought Sunkern had a good matchup against my team, or if he was, in a sense, throwing the match. I really don't know. I'll be interested in hearing what he has to say about that. But he did bring Sunkern. It is level 1, so it's certainly going to be an Endeavor Leech seed set. So if I get Rocks up, then this thing is essentially useless. So that's definitely going to be a priority in this match, getting Rocks up, probably against the Diancie with my Jirachi, as Jirachi is my rocker. And yeah, so Sunkern shouldn't be too big of an issue. He did bring Mega Medicham, which is nice because I brought Wobbuffet, so that's going to be my primary target with the Wobbuffet. I can easily take out pretty much any Mega Medicham set with the Wob, and if something goes wrong there, then I have plenty of ways to revenge kill it with my multiple priority options. Breloom is a Focus Sashed variety, so again, I'll be able to lead with that with really no issues and put in a lot of work. It really just looks like my team matchup is solid overall, and let's go ahead and jump on into the match. match, and I will show you what happened. So, he decided to lead off with his Lottie, and I led off with my Braylon, so I'm going to pause here very quickly. Over the past few weeks, he's been preparing much better than he had at the beginning of the season and really all of last season. So I'm going to have to respect several different item potentials this week, and that includes Safety Goggles Latias. That also includes Colberberry Latias. As last time I played him, Sneasel gave him a very, very hard time. And notice he did not bring Gengar this week, so he was probably very much so fearing Sneasel, and therefore I kind of expected this to be a Colberberry set. So I'm going to play with that in mind. Plus, I realized that I have a near perfect switch into Latias named Jirachi, so I don't want to burn my Breloom's Focus Sash immediately here. So let's go ahead and continue. I decided to go straight into my Jirachi, as this could be an opportunity to go for Stealth Rock, or it could be an opportunity to just maintain momentum by going for U-turn, knowing that I almost definitely outslow this thing if it's fast at all, as I only have enough speed investment to outspeed Adamant Mega Medicham, so I just U-turn on the incoming Thundurus into my Breloom, as now I'm pretty much free to just go for the Rock Tomb, as nothing wants to take it, and Thundurus is, I believe, guaranteed to be outgoed from this range if it doesn't have any bulk, and down goes the Thundurus immediately. So that's pretty nice, but unfortunately my Breloom is paralyzed, and here I decide to just go for the Mach Punch, as I am on the Focus Sash. I'm not really fearing anything as long as I don't get full parried, and he goes for the low kick, apparently predicting my Lucario to come in, which is a good play on his part, as Lucario is definitely looking like a big threat to his team, but I'm definitely not going to risk my win condition this early in the match for sure. So now he switches in his Bisharp, as I predict him to try to pull the double, expecting my Jirachi, so I go into my Raikou as a safe middle ground play, and he is just going to be forced to go for the Sucker Punch, as he doesn't have anything that wants to take a hit from a potential Volt Switch, Specs, Raikou, etc. So down goes the Bisharp. We're off to a good 6-4 advantage. Now here he goes into his Diancie, and he's obviously just going to go for Stealth Rocks here, and I'm just going to switch straight into my Jirachi to get my own rocks up, as that will of course make his Sunkern useless, and it'll pressure him to defog with Latias if that's what he's wanting to do, if he's really wanting to do something with Sunkern this game. But I did also want to keep my Breloom alive just in case, for the Sunkern, just in case I'm not able to have those rocks on the field, preventing it from being a nuisance. So I just go into my Jirachi. I do want to pause here briefly before I destroy the level 1 Sunkern with a U-turn from this thing. The damage from the Fake Out from Mega Medicham to Jirachi indicated that, well, it was a very confusing damage roll, as the exact percent damage that he got from that attack showed that it could have either been a maximum roll Jolly Mega Medicham or a minimum roll Adamant Mega Medicham. So I was in a very tight situation based upon that damage roll. I operated under the assumption that he was going to be an Adamant Mega Medicham, and therefore would probably switch out on this turn, fearing my Iron Head. But and yeah, that does end up working out pretty well, as he just sacks his Sunkern here, knowing that with rocks up and with the Breloom alive, Sunkern's not doing anything in this match. So I do get some somewhat initiative here, as I U-turn into my Wob, as Wob can actually handle the Mega Medicham, the Diancie, and the Latias pretty well. But here, just knowing how quickly he switched in the Latias against the Wobbuffet just in real battle time, I was pretty sure he had something for the Wob on this Latias. Maybe Trick. Turned out to be Toxic, as I just went into my Jirachi to hardwall this, and he reveals HP Fighting. I'm going to pause briefly. This definitely confirms that it was a Lure Latias for my Sneasel. No doubt has a Colberberry with HP Fighting, and that would blow my Sneasel back, to say the least, but I'm very lucky to have not fallen for that trap. Now here, I expect him to switch out, but I am just going to go straight for the Iron Head for damage on whatever comes in, just because it's good damage against Mega Medicham, and having that damage is going to guarantee that I can counter KO the Mega Medicham with Wobbuffet regardless of what he goes for, so that's pretty nice to have. And he does reveal there that he is Jolly by outspeeding my Jirachi there, as I am 300 speed, so he had to be higher than 300 speed, meaning Jolly Mega Medicham, to hit my Jirachi with a Drain Punch. But fortunately I do survive, just go for the U-turn, and I go into my Wob. Now here is where in-game occurs, as I know that I'm safe to go for Encore, as he revealed Drain Punch. I don't expect him to have High Jump Kick. The only way he could 2-hit KO me from this range is with a critical hit High Jump Kick on one of the 2 attempts. So he has to go for 2 High Jump Kicks, critical hitting me on one of them. And I don't think he has it because he has Drain Punch. So I'm very safe to just go for the Encore on this turn. He makes a crucial misplay here in going for the Fake Out on this turn, as when he goes for Fake Out and I Encore him into Fake Out, he's stuck using Fake Out, and I have a Swords Dance Lucario chilling in the back. And if you look at what he has on his team, he has Diancie, a weakened Latias, and a Mega Medicham, and there is no chance in a million years that any of those are going to survive a +2 hit from this Lucario. So This is looking like a snack wrap, and that will be a 6-0 victory in favor of the Toronto Star Raptors as Lucario cleans up the rest of his mons with a combination of Bullet Punch and with extreme speed. So that's the game. That was not the game I anticipated going in. I knew I had a pretty favorable matchup, and here he's not even going to go for Fake Out, knowing that I'm probably Inner Focus. But I knew I had a pretty favorable matchup going into this just because my draft does very well against Cheese's draft due to all the priority and such. But I didn't expect the 6-0, especially because a 2-0 victory was all I was able to get last time, and I thought I had a pretty darn good team against him last time. But yeah, this was kind of a blowout, so unexpected to say the least. But anyways, I'm sure Cheese will be looking for revenge if we do encounter each other in the playoffs. But that's enough about the battle itself. Let's talk about the results of this battle. So with this, the Toronto Star Raptors have clinched the #1 overall seed in the entire league. We have clinched the conference championship. So we're the #1 seed in the conference going into the playoffs. We get a first-round bye, and we'll play the winner of Cheeseboy628 and Matty Brawlick. So that would be the Phoenix Sunkern and the St. Louis Rams. And with that, we have, of course, clinched our division with an undefeated divisional record this year, with, I believe, a +18 differential in 4 games. So that's pretty nice, too. But we'll also probably definitely be #1 in the power rankings as well. So this match had a lot of consequence for me, and I'm definitely happy to have performed as well as I did this week. So that's looking pretty good. Next week we are against Matty and the St. Louis Rams. Now, as I mentioned, Matty is already a guaranteed playoff team. He already won his division, and there's honestly a pretty good chance that I'll have to play him in the semifinal, the conference championship, and the playoffs. So with that said, I have no intentions of bringing a team that I would feasibly bring against him in the conference championship. So I'm going to be bringing something quite exciting as far as a team is concerned next week against Matty. And I hope you guys are looking forward to that, because I'm definitely looking forward to using the team that I've come up with. And I think it's going to be a pretty interesting experience, to say the least. But definitely be looking forward to that. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you in Week 11 and in the conference championship. Peace.